notice the seating chart at first. The ballroom looked like something out of a bridal magazine. Gold-rimmed glassware, white roses floating in shallow bowls, waiters gliding between tables as if rehearsed. My future mother-in-law stood near the entrance greeting guests with the particular smile she reserved for people she considered useful. My parents arrived 10 minutes early. They always do. My mother adjusted the pleats of her sari in the reflection of a mirrored column. My father straightened his jacket twice, even though it fit perfectly. They looked proud, nervous but proud, assumed they'd be near the front. When I finally found their table, it was by the kitchen doors. Every time the doors swung open, a rush of heat and clatter spilled over them. Stacked trays passed inches from my father's shoulder. A busboy nearly brushed my mother's chair without noticing her. I thought it was a mistake. Walked back to the main cluster of tables where the board members, distant cousins from overseas, my fiancé's father's business associates were seated. My mother-in-law was mid-conversation when I asked quietly why my parents were at the back. She didn't lower her voice, didn't want them embarrassing the important guests. The words landed flat and bright in the room. A few people glanced over. Someone laughed awkwardly, assuming it was a joke. I looked at my fiancé. He gave a small shrug, not cruel, not even embarrassed, just inconvenienced. "They'll be more comfortable there," he said. Less pressure. Was the moment something inside me went still, not furious, not hysterical. Still, I walked back to my parents. My mother was pretending not to hear the kitchen noise. My father was nodding at a man who wasn't really speaking to him. They both smiled when they saw me. "Everything okay?" my father asked. I kissed my mother's cheek. I could smell the jasmine in her hair. "Right back," I said. The DJ booth was elevated slightly above the dance floor. He was scrolling through a playlist when I asked for the microphone. He hesitated, then handed it over. The music faded. The room quieted in polite expectation. I didn't raise my voice. "I just want to thank my parents," I said, "for working 2 jobs, each so I could stand here tonight, for never once worrying about who was important enough to sit at their table." There was a shift in the room. People stopped smiling. "I've realized something this evening," I continued. "People who raised me aren't considered important here. Then I shouldn't be either." I handed the microphone back. I walked to the venue coordinator. She had been watching. Contracts are unemotional things, clear, precise. The remaining balance hadn't yet been fully settled. Cancellation clauses existed. I asked what ending the event now would require, outlined the penalties calmly in numbers. I nodded. Behind me, my fiancé finally caught up. His voice was low, urgent. "Don't do this. You're overreacting." I looked at him and, for the first time, saw the future clearly. Holidays negotiated around status. Decisions filtered through his mother's approval. Small dismissals framed as practicality. "This isn't about tonight," I said. The coordinator stepped in then, not loudly, not dramatically, but unmistakably. She asked for confirmation. I gave it. Staff began discreetly informing catering. The band packed their equipment. Guests murmured, confusion rippling outward. Authority had shifted. Not to me emotionally, but procedurally. The machine was reversing. Parents stood when they realized what was happening. My mother looked worried. My father looked relieved. We left together through the front doors. The next morning, I sent a brief message to the guest list. The engagement had ended. Accusations, no dramatic explanations, just clarity. By afternoon, the calls began. My former mother, In-law furious about the forfeited deposits. Fiancé stunned that I had involved vendors before discussing it privately. Business associates withdrawing polite interest. Invitations quietly rescinded. Their world didn't collapse in flames. It folded in on itself, socially, financially, reputationally. Did not collapse at all. It felt quieter than I expected. A little raw, a little uncertain. That evening, parents came over with leftovers from a restaurant down the street. We ate at my small dining table. No assigned seating. No hierarchy. My father told a long, unnecessary story about the waiter mispronouncing his name, and we laughed harder than it deserved. Don't feel victorious. I feel awake. And for the first time since the engagement began, I feel like the table I'm sitting at is mine.